All right, y'all. So we start off with the Three of Cups, and I'm immediately hearing Soul Tribe, right? This doesn't feel like a surface level friendship. This feels like souls that were always destined to find each other. And there's something extremely sacred about this energy because when I do look at this card, I don't just see celebration, I see recognition. Look at how beautiful that card is. It looks like they have their arms open, their hands open, like they're waiting for something, right? It looks like they are dancing in harmony, like they're calling some beautiful energy in. And it's almost like these people know each other beyond this lifetime. There's a familiarity here, there's a remembrance, there's a feeling of finally exhaling after wandering for so long. And what's interesting uh, is this Three of Cups particular, it looks incomplete. Like it feels like their circle has been waiting. Like there is an energetic space that's being held open for someone who hasn't arrived yet. That is what I'm feeling with this. And these individuals are already connected, but there's an awareness that someone else is meant to enter the story. Someone who completes this frequency, someone who was always written into the energetic blueprint of this tribe. All right. And then we have the Page of Wands. There goes my chills. There goes the confirmation. The Page of Wands. And they literally look like they are walking into whatever it is that they're opening up. Look at that. You see how their arms are open like that? So, with this Page of Wands, this is the energy. It looks like it's entering a portal, honestly. This Page of Wands is a seeker, they're a traveler. They're someone who is following an inner calling that they can't fully explain. And this card specifically, it genuinely feels like someone who is walking through a dimensional doorway. I love this deck, honestly, but this Page of Wands in particular, it's different. It's so different than any of the other ones in my deck. They've created an opening with their wand. They have cut through the fabric of reality with their frequency. And it's almost like spirit is guiding them towards these people that they were always meant to meet. And the Page of Wands carries a very curious passion, uh, movement. What else do I want to say? Like it's a discovery, okay? The discoverer. It's a but there's an innocence here. This feels like somebody who has never truly experienced what aligned connection feels like before. And unfortunately, that is something that many of us have gone through. It's like, where is that soul tribe that just hits deep? Okay, that understands. There's surface level connections that look good on the outside, but we crave that depth, that emotional connection, that soul resonance. And that's what I see someone is walking right into. And just like I said in another reading, what you're looking for is looking for you too. So as you have been looking and waiting, or looking, they've been waiting. Um, and I feel like this has been going on for quite some time. This energy, you may have tried to fit yourself into places that you were never meant to belong. Trying to force a residence, or force a connection, or force trying to feel like you belong. But the thing about this soul family is that you don't have to do that. You don't have to force it, because this is a direct alignment. And this is creating some sort of stability, because I see three, now I see four. So this is a foundation that's being created. And when you do find these people, your nervous system recognizes them before your mind does. And there's a deep sense of safety here. There's recognition, there's expansion, there's inspiration. All right. There's just some absolutely beautiful energy here. Excuse me. Okay. And then we move into the Ten of Wands. Of course, everything can't always be peachy and keen, but I almost feel like that's the energy that this Page of Wands is leaving. So the Ten of Wands, this is really powerful because although this Page of Wands is technically, a younger energy, the Ten of Wands lets me know that this soul has been carrying something heavy for quite some time. This is somebody who has traveled far emotionally, spiritually, mentally, maybe even across lifetimes. And what I'm hearing is that this soul has experienced isolation. They're walking alone, maybe feeling misunderstood, feeling different. feeling like they could never express themselves or the truth of who they were around the people that were surrounding them. And, that can become exhausting after a while, right? Always having to fucking put on a mask or put on a show just to feel accepted. So just imagine constantly like shrinking yourself so that others can understand you, or carrying visions that no one else can see, or imagine feeling spiritually homesick while still existing in your everyday life. Like it can be tumultuous. That's the energy that this page of wands has been carrying, very heavy. But the beautiful thing about the Ten of Wands is that it represents the final stretch before we're finished, before completion. So this tells me that the journey is ending, the search is ending, the wandering is ending, and the feeling of like, where are my people? That is ending because I feel like you've established a connection with them, even if it hasn't happened physically yet. There's been an energetic connection that has been established. And let's see, after the Ten of Wands, we move into the Two of Pentacles. All right. So this is trying to bring some sort of balance or stability. This is where the energy begins to balance itself out. And this really does feel emotional because once once aligned people enter your life, right? Everything starts to reorganize itself naturally. Your energy stabilizes. Your creativity starts to expand. Your nervous system, it softens. Your manifestations, they start to speed up. Why? It's because you're no longer spending your life force trying to survive in misaligned environments. You're finally around people who water you instead of drain you. And I do feel like this connection is mutually nourishing. This is not a one-sided deal. This is someone who's giving more. This isn't someone who is giving more than they receive. Like this is equal. This is balanced. Everyone entering this soul tribe has a role. Everyone carries their own medicine. Everyone carries value. And what's beautiful is that this Two of Pentacles almost feels like the tribe adjusting itself energetically to welcome in this new member. They are making space for you. This is like it's like spirit is restructuring the dynamic, almost like move things around, make room because they're on their way. Collective is on their way, and that's just a beautiful thing when people can feel your energy coming so they make space for you ahead of time. It's like this was made just for you. The Queen of Pentacles, oh my god, the Queen of Pentacles is so beautiful. This is a very um, the Queen of Pentacles is a very valuable energy. All right. This is where the reading becomes incredibly grounded and powerful because the Page of Wands, may enter as somebody who is still discovering themselves, but Spirit is saying that this soul carries immense value. Whoever you are, collective, you carry value. Whatever circle that you come into, it brings value, it expands that group. Good things start to happen because you have entered that space. And the Queen of Pentacles is nourishment. She's abundant, very stable, fertile, very expansive. Whatever you touch, I just heard a green thumb. Whatever you touch turns into gold. And everything that you touch grows. This is someone who naturally enriches the spaces that they enter, not because they're trying to prove themselves, but because their energy itself is just so fertile. It's so pure. It's so potent. And I think that the soul tribe is recognizing that immediately. And what I'm hearing from them is like, we've been waiting for you. Like, where you been? Where you been? Where you been, bitch? It don't even have to be like, excuse my French. Like, I don't even really talk to my friends like that, but that's just what came out. So it might resonate for someone. But, you know, it can be lighthearted. This doesn't have to be all spiritual woo-hoo, woo-hoo, woo-hoo. This can be people who you are just aligned with at a soul level and you guys get each other. All right. Um, so it's like they've been waiting for you. They've been waiting for you. And this person may not even realize how impactful you are yet. I don't know if you understand your value just yet, but spirit does and your tribe does. So even if you are unaware of how much gold and value it is that you hold, being connected with the right people and the right groups will bring that out of you and will surprise yourself. So Maybe they inspire your creativity. Maybe they bring emotional grounding. Maybe they'll bring wisdoms, or maybe some sort of softness, or maybe those are the things that you're going to bring. But whatever it is, um, you complete something energetically within this group. And that's really the beautiful thing about this, is that it nourishes, flows both ways. There's so much nourishment and it flows both ways. Because, like, yeah, the page of wands is bringing value into the soul tribe, but the soul tribe is also helping bring this person into remembering who it is that they are. And that's what true soul family does. They don't ask you to become smaller. They don't call you to become larger, right? They activate dormant parts of you. They mirror your gifts back to you, and they remind you of the magic whenever you forget about it. Okay. This is absolutely beautiful. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Justice card. Absolutely beautiful, because this is Spirit saying, like, you've suffered enough through misalignment. Now you receive resonance. And the beautiful thing is, I don't truly think that the Page of Wands sees this coming. I think that they may feel the call. I feel like, they may feel the pull, but I don't think that they realize how life changing this soul tribe connection is about to be. This feels like the beginning of a completely new chapter. A chapter filled with aligned connections, with shared visions, mutual nourishment, expansion, creativity, emotional safety, most of all, right? So if this message found you, take it as a confirmation that your people are finding you now. And not everyone is meant to walk with you into the next chapter, because your frequency is changing. And as your frequency changes, your soul family becomes visible. The ones who can truly see you, the ones who speak your language without words, the ones who remind you that, you're never too much. You were simply in the wrong environment. So your tribe is now finding you, and when they do, everything in your life will change. So, congratulations in advance for keeping on your journey, for never giving up, for continuing to let your light shine, for living in your authenticity. Because when you do that, you start to draw in new people, places, and things that will help you expand into the next level. So, I love you all. I'm going to leave the reading right here. If this resonates, just let me know. I hope you like, share, comment, subscribe. Again, let's build this algorithm. Let's build this channel. And you all have a beautiful day. All right.